The Big Whack presents Buffalo on the Rise, sponsored by Dr. Kaplansky Dental Implants. Get new permanent teeth in 24 hours with our exclusive Teeth Now process. Welcome to the television show devoted to local business, Buffalo on the Rise, with your host, Joe Chili. There's an entrepreneurial spirit in Western New York that's putting our area on the cusp of greatness. Each week, Buffalo on the Rise features local business leaders and decision makers who are shaping our future. If it's about local business, we'll talk about it right here, right now, during Buffalo on the Rise.
I'm Joe Chili. On this edition of the Big Weck's Buffalo on the Rise, meet some amazing people from hometown businesses, like Donna Herberger from Ideal You. How's your New Year's resolution going to lose weight? Find out how you can stay on track. Thinking of traveling this year? Elizabeth Carey from the AAA of Western and Central New York has just the trip for you. Then Paul Stasiak from the NFADA helps you find your ride for 2025 with a preview of the Buffalo Auto Show. All on this edition of the Big Weck's Buffalo on the Rise. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Joe Chili. Mornings from 7 to 9 on Buffalo's oldie station, the Big Weck. Joining us on the Big Weck's Buffalo on the Rise today is Donna Herberger, the owner of the Ideal You Weight Loss Center. Donna, how are you doing?
I'm great, Joe. How are you?
You're always great.
Well, I try.
And you always look great.
I try.
You know, and when you sit next to me on TV, you look even better.
Well, thank you. I'm so glad I'm here.
Exactly. You know what? New year, new you, whatever.
Yes.
You start thinking about things that you want to do. We're going to wipe the slate clean.
Right.
I'm going to start, I'm going to make a determined effort this year. Not that I didn't last year or the year before.
Right.
To lose weight or to do whatever. Why doesn't that work?
Well, for some people it does, but the word resolution means you're going to make a change, and it's a Latin word, and it means to resolve, and it also means to loosen or turn a page. But if you say, well, I'm going to give up smoking, that's a resolution. That means from now on, I'm not going to smoke anymore. But you can't say, I'm not going to eat ever again. You need a plan. We give people structure so that they can have a goal and reach that new weight.
I've actually been practicing a resolution then, because if it means to loosen, I loosen my belt. No, that doesn't work, does it? No, I suppose that isn't.
Do you know more women than men make resolutions?
Is it because men just can't follow through?
No, I just think they think I'm just going to try to do better. Men are like, that's silly. And it's not silly if you believe in it. But there's a day in January, it's apparently a real day, it's called Quitter's Day, when most people who have made a resolution, and it's usually the second Friday in January, where they've given up. So don't give up. Come to us and we can help you get on track and get to your goal.
So a couple of weeks in, I can understand that. But I used to hear things like, they would say, guys' hair goes gray and they don't do anything with it. If women's hair goes gray, women say, we look old, so we have to do something about it. So there are a lot of things, that kind of fall along those gender lines.
Right.
Right. And do men or women lose more weight on the plan?
It depends.
Okay.
So there's a bunch of different factors. Men by nature have more muscle.
Okay.
If you have more muscle, you're going to have a faster metabolism than a woman who by nature would have more fat. If a man and a woman are both Olympians, they're both going to have very high metabolisms because they're both going to have a lot of muscle and they can eat whatever they want. So it depends not just on how much muscle you're starting with, but how active are you? Do you work out? Do you stick to the program? Do you drink your water? Do you take some supplements, some vitamins and things like that? So there's a lot of factors.
You mentioned structured plan.
Mm-hmm.
When I hear structured, sometimes it makes me a little bit nervous, right?
Right.
I'm sure some people may, but it also holds you accountable, doesn't it?
Absolutely. So our program is a scientific approach to weight loss. There's no drugs. No drugs. No appetite suppressants, no stimulants, just healthy food. It's a combination of our food and our clients' food, so you're not just eating the diet food at every meal. You can also eat vegetables and salads. You can have steak and chicken and seafood and things for dinner. You can lead a normal life.
I've tasted some of your food. You brought it before.
Yes.
It doesn't taste like quote-unquote diet food.
No.
Because, I think of diet food as tasting like styrofoam or cardboard.
Cardboard, right.
Cardboard,
Ours
right?
doesn't.
But no, it doesn't.
No.
So,
no.
that's good in itself. What about, you talk about coaching too.
Yes.
Do people have to physically come in and be coached? Can you do it via Zoom? How do you do this?
So if you live in Erie or Niagara County, we service both of those counties. We want you to come into one of our 3 locations, Clarence, Tonawanda, or West Seneca. If you're outside of Erie or Niagara County and you'd love to do our program, but it's an hour drive, you're in Cattaraugus, Chautauqua, Wyoming, Genesee, we can do it via Zoom, virtual coaching, ship the food, and then check in with these people once a week for a 15-minute Zoom and help them get to their goal.
When people look up dieting or
Yes.
things of this nature, they tend to do things that are unhealthy, crash diets. I'm going to starve myself, or I'm just going to go out, I'm going to buy things that are low in sugar or things like this. And sometimes that's not the way to work. You have your husband is an actual medical doctor, right, that consults?
Yes, and he's our medical director. This, as I said, is truly a scientific approach to weight loss. So if you follow our program, super simple, you eat one of our foods at breakfast, one of our foods at lunch, one of our foods for a healthy snack, make your own healthy dinner, and then on top of that, salads and vegetables and drinking water. So people are full. It's 3 full meals plus a snack, and you can't help but lose weight if you follow it. If you deviate, so we have signs in our centers that say 100% compliance, you're going to have 100% results. If you're 80% compliant, you could have 0 results. It's hard to lose weight. That's why people come to us, because it's too hard to figure out on your own. And it's not just calories, Joe. It's not counting points. It's not just counting carbs. You got to make sure you're getting enough protein to preserve lean tissue and muscle. That's going to preserve your metabolism.
You said something interesting to me before we went on the air, and it was about individuals that eat before they exercise.
Yes.
And to have a full meal before your exercise is not a good idea. I mean, people will think, I eat and I'm going to go out and I'm going to work out and I'm going to lose weight, but that's not the idea, right? In our last minute, maybe you can give us an idea about that.
Okay, so if you had a big meal and then you got on a treadmill and you're jogging hard, your heart is already working harder digesting the food that you just ate. Now it could be the tipping point if you're doing hard cardio or heavy weights. So you want to work out on an empty stomach, or just like they say with swimming, wait an hour after you eat before you go swimming. Wait at least an hour before you exercise.
Donna Herberger from the Ideal You Weight Loss, thank you very much. For more information and answers to your questions, contact Ideal You by calling 716-631-THIN or go to idealu.com. Sponsorship and promotional consideration for the preceding segment was provided by Ideal You. Hi, I'm Joe Chili. Mornings from 7 to 9 on Buffalo's oldie station, The Big Wack. Joining us on The Big Wack's Buffalo on the Rise today is Elizabeth Carey, Director of Public Relations and Corporate Communications Director, right? Over at AAA of Western and Central New York. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so happy to be here with you today. Thanks for having me on.
Nice to see you. We hear you all the time, but to see you, and it was great because how many years did you spend in TV?
Over 20. I remember saying, I made it to 20 years. Now what am I going to do?
I don't know, but you will look much better than me with regard to this. Let's talk about something that everybody's considering right now, and that is vacations. And we're talking about the Big Wack Listener Cruise. We're going to Bermuda this year, right?
That's right. Bermuda, the pink sand beaches are calling.
Really?
Have you ever been?
I've never been to Bermuda.
They do. It's a pink hue, I'd say, in the sand, but it's so beautiful. It's such a nice island. A lot of golf there. It's a nice upscale island. You don't have to worry about crime or anything like that. It's a really nice place to visit. And on this cruise, you get 2 days to spend in Bermuda, which is really neat.
2 days?
Yeah, not just 1, 2 days.
That's not bad at all. Tell us about, Bermuda itself, and And the dates for this. Now, are we talking September?
September 13th to the 18th. So it's great because it sails right out of New York, Bayonne, New Jersey. It's, you know, the port right there. You're going to sail right past the Statue of Liberty. You don't have to worry about a flight or TSA or anything like that. It's motor coach transportation that's included. So it's a nice luxury motor coach. They get you to the port, you board, you get priority boarding. Next thing you know, you're having your cocktail, you're setting sail past the Statue of Liberty. You get a day at sea, 2 days in Bermuda, another day at sea, and then you return to port. So it's the 13th to the 18th.
Liberty of the Seas?
Liberty of the Seas with Royal Caribbean.
That sounds great. You know, give me an idea. I've never been on a cruise. First off, these boats are huge, right? I mean, just like, it's like a runway, like a football field or whatever, the number of football fields on that.
Yeah.
And the food is out of this world, right?
Yes, there's plenty of food. They are huge. The only way I can describe it is really like, I try to tell people, it's like you're at the Walden Galleria and it's on water, but it's even bigger than that. But that's just an example. It's like a huge mall with multiple floors and all different activities and all different things taking place. You can't even tell that you're on the water, but you got to go on the upper deck or go towards the balcony and take a look out. You're going to see beautiful seas. They'll let you know if you're passing anything notable, so it's really neat to be able to see that too. And then you mentioned the food, so there's so much food to be had. So you have to really watch it or think of, if you're counting calories, you have to watch it. If not, just indulge and get whatever you want to. But when you think about it, buffets nonstop, like 24/7, there's always food available. But then there's also dining available where you can sit and be served with the tablecloth and the napkin and, you know, the whole VIP treatment.
That's great. So, you know, I wouldn't leave the food area. So that's not very good, you know, when you want to go and see some of the other great things that are going on. Now, the whole idea of not, you don't have to fly, you know, the coach, you don't have to fly to get there or whatever the case may be,
no
right?
fly cruise.
That, because people get a little bit nervous about that. Now, what about people are concerned about, I've never been on a boat before. And now I say boat, this is really a ship, it's not a boat. And they get concerned, you know, am I going to get seasick, or am I going to feel weird, or will I enjoy myself? What do you tell them?
There is something for everyone on a cruise. First of all, if you're worried about being seasick or something like that, there's a bracelet you can put on and you just wear it around your wrist. It controls your equilibrium, and this way you feel fine. There's also a patch you can put behind the ear. Some people do that just to be on the safe side. I've been on many cruises, never even felt sick. I've been on some small boats where I did get seasick. So I've experienced both, but on a cruise, never had a problem. And when you're there, you have to think about it. Non-stop entertainment options. The pool and surfing and water slides and Broadway style shows and ice skating and all these different things you can, and bingo and auctions and artwork and all different things that you can think of throughout the day taking place. They have non-stop activities.
What about, are there things that are listener specific to, you know, whether they be cocktail parties or specific events going on?
Yeah, so we're working to make the Big WEC listener cruise extra special. So it's going to include a WEC listener cocktail party, like you mentioned. So that's always fun. Some people will get the drink package on the ship, some won't, but you'll be able to have all the drinks you want at the cocktail party. There's going to be some fun activities on board, like games, scavenger hunts, things like that for people to take part in that are just for the WEC listeners, and special dinners just for the WEC listeners as well. So trying to make it extra special. And along with this, you're going to have a tour host on board with you. So if you need anything goes wrong, you have a question, there's a dedicated person you can reach out to.
Julie.
Exactly.
All right. What about individuals that might happen, maybe their spouse has passed, a single individual, should they feel out of place?
No, there's so many singles that do go on cruises because it's so easy to meet other people and to take part in different activities. They'll even have solo events on the ship through Royal Caribbean that people can take part in. So there's really something for everyone.
Dates once again.
September 13th to the 18th, that's 2025. We need everybody booked by May, so keep that in mind. The clock is ticking, limited availability, so you're going to want to make sure you book sooner rather than later.
Yeah, because people are wondering, you know, should I really book now? And they really should.
Yes,
right?
Save your spot. You won't regret it. It's, you know, the thing about travel right now, people want experiences. They want to be able to get out there and enjoy different activities with their friends and their loved ones. So get your friends on board, get going, sign up, and you have something to look forward to, and that's always fun when it comes to travel.
I always look forward to seeing you. And that's,
and
you know,
same here.
That's part of the trip, you know what I mean? I think that sounds great. Elizabeth Carey from AAA of Western and Central New York, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Safe travels to everyone.
For more information and answers to your questions, contact AAA of Western and Central New York. Go to AAA.com, or you can go to our website, bigwec.com. Sponsorship and promotional consideration for the preceding segment was provided by AAA of Western and Central New York. Hi, I'm Joe Chili, mornings from 7 to 9 at Buffalo's oldie station, the Big Weck. Joining us on the Big Weck's Buffalo on the Rise today is Paul Stasiak, president of the NFADA. Paul, how you doing?
Good morning. Great to be here, Joe.
It's great to see you. You know, the auto show, I've got to tell you, whenever I think of this, I still get the excitement of being like a kid again. I mean, I don't know if it's just, you know, if I want to see the new trends, I want to see the new body styles. I mean, nothing is more exciting to me than you've had a car 2 or 3 years, it looks pretty much the same, right? All of a sudden they make some kind of a change to it, and your car becomes outdated if you've got the earlier model, right?
Your car becomes a house nowadays with all the technology in it, Joe.
You know, come to think of it, you know, that's very true. And what's new? What do you think this year when we start talking about the auto show? What are we thinking about?
You know, everybody asks me every year, what's the changes? And I always sometimes say technology. I've been in this business a lot of years. I didn't go gray overnight, Joe. Yeah. So I've seen changes. These cars are moving living rooms now. People are coming in asking for basically what's in the telematics of the car. You know, what's on the screen? What are the comfort features? In the past, we'd go and try to put a little screen on the back for a long trip for the kids. Now they're expecting almost video screens, live video screens, backup cameras, safety cameras. Things along those lines are standard equipment now. So it's no longer the BMW, the Mercedes, the high-end car that has all that technology. People are coming in demanding that in the everyday vehicle. And that's what we're going to see when we move in. We're going to see technology in the cars, ease of the car, and obviously huge safety factors. So,
you know, the other day I noticed for the first time, and my car's a couple of years old, that on the windshield, it was one of those days where you're using the squirters every day, and it says, your front camera is not working, clean your windshield, or something like, and it's a safety thing. I don't think I've ever seen something like that before.
Exactly. Backup cameras were a thing 10 years ago. If you had a backup camera, you had a cool car. Now you got side cameras, you got front cameras, you got sensors that tell you you're too close, too far, you got more room. So what's that? Even a caveman can do it. I don't want to say that to offend anybody, but nowadays, if you don't pass a driver's test with one of our cars, shame on you. The car literally drives itself. You look at Hummers; they can park sideways. You know, with the way that the vehicles rotate, they no longer have to even do a 3-point turn. So when people come to the auto show, they're looking to see what's different from what they had, as you said, Joe, 3 years ago. And it might be subtle changes. My wife's in the market. She loves her vehicle. I can't say what it is because I represent everybody, but she wouldn't change, but she wants to see what's new on the model that she has. And then she might change if someone's got something more.
Is there any such thing as a compact car anymore?
Yeah, there's a few. There's more compact SUVs. That's the trend. I know we talked off air. What happens? Electrification's a buzzword. Hybrid, plug-in hybrid. People want to see it, want to learn about it. We'll have a lot of that at the auto show, but essentially people in Buffalo still want that comfort and safety of SUVs or compact SUVs. They call them crossovers. So that will be a vehicle that you'll see a lot of in the Buffalo Auto Show. It's not the compact small car. It's a smaller version of an SUV. People feel more comfortable.
When you talk about EVs, you know, electric vehicles or whatever, are there enough charging stations around?
No, not even anywhere close.
Seriously? And
it's not the hinder of the car, because nowadays manufacturers such as Ford Motor Company, you buy an EV, they pay for in-home installation of a charger. That's new. It's an educational point. You'll hear at the auto show. The dealerships are trying to arm the customer or give them an in-home charging system. We'll have companies at the show that will show a customer, don't worry about it anymore. Publicly, New York State is way behind the infrastructure. No fault in New York. You know, it's just the imposition that they put, you know, some of these regulations, federal regulations, caught us off guard. We're working, the state's working, not fast enough. The dealers, the manufacturers are building them. The dealers are stocking them. The public's just got to get ready for it now.
All right, let's get to the auto show itself.
Sure.
The days for the auto show.
Yeah, it opens to the public on January 30th. It's a Thursday. We go from 1 to 9, Thursday and Friday. from 10 to 10 on Saturday, and we close it Sunday at 5 o'clock.
What about tickets? So the discount tickets, family tickets?
Yeah, I mean, you can get your tickets just as easy at buffaloautoshow.com, buy them at the gate. We've got terrific partnerships with Tops, with Consumer Beverage, with Dash. We got a brand new partner, so where Crosby Markets came to us, we're excited. Their scope goes all the way to Elmira and Ithaca. So someone can't say they can't buy an auto show ticket. They got a terrific discount, and buy 3, get 1 free. So that's probably your best discount ticket outlet, is one of those venues.
Going to be giving away a car this year?
We're going to have a chance to win 2 or 3 cars this year, yes.
And tell us about, you've got a special night going on Wednesday, January 31st, right?
No, the 29th.
29th, I'm sorry.
Correct. No, thank you for even asking about it. Yeah, that's probably the most wonderful day of the year for us. It's our charity preview gala. It's a night where we raise a tremendous amount of money for local charities, Western New York charities. We've given out millions of dollars so far as a result of the proceeds of this event and our auto show and another event we do. So it's the coming out party. It's the pre-party before the show opens to the public. So we'll get a really good cross-section. It is open to the public. We never used to do that before. So someone can get everything you would expect at a nice gala and window shop at cars while you're doing that for 4 hours.
What do you think is the most exciting thing coming up? We've got about a minute left, with regard to cars.
Most exciting thing? That is a terrific question. My world, I think you're going to see a resurgence again of 2-door vehicles coming. They got away from it for a while. I still think it's pizzazz. If you go to a classic car show, you go to Cars and Coffee, people always wanted a two-door car. Got away from it. I think you're going to see manufacturers start getting into that sporty car again. The public's going to demand it, honestly.
All right, Paul Stasiak, president of the NFADA. For more information and answers to your questions, contact the NFADA and the 2025 Buffalo Auto Show by calling 716-580-7176 or go to buffaloautoshow.com. Sponsorship and promotional consideration for the preceding segment was provided by the NFADA.
Thanks for watching this edition of the Big Wack Presents Buffalo on the Rise. For information on this and other shows, go to our website, bigwack.com, and find out how you can participate on the program if you're a hometown business. I'm Joe Chili. Thanks for watching and listening to the Big Wack, Buffalo's oldie station.
The Big Wack Presents Buffalo on the Rise was sponsored by Dr. Kaplansky Dental Implants. Get new permanent teeth in 24 hours with our exclusive Teeth Now process.